We're in the peak of summer, and if you're out beating the heat by hitting the water on a boat, it's important to know how to handle situations that could leave you injured. We're joined right now by attorneys Jeffrey Ward and Brandon Dawson with the Thumbs Up Guys to go over everything you need to know. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Great to have you guys here. I mean, this is a great time of year to talk about this. A lot of us out on boats having a great time out there, but of course we should know what should happen if that boat does crash or you get into an accident. So if we are on a boat and we get injured when someone else is driving, who's responsible?
Yeah, it blows my mind that all you need to be allowed to drive a boat is a driver's license. That is the one rule, the one law, and it makes no sense to me because driving a boat and driving a car could not be more different in certain aspects. But you know, just like with a car wreck or any other type of injury, the responsible person, I mean, it's either the driver of the boat you were in or if you collide with another boat, the driver of that other boat. And
just looking for the negligent party like a car wreck.
Exactly right. And it all depends on what happened leading up to, you getting injured. Did somebody, kill the engine too quickly and send you flying forward, or did they rev the motor and send you flying backwards? So there's a lot that goes into the investigation early on with any type of boat wreck to figure out what exactly happened, how could have it been prevented or avoided, and what was going on that caused this to happen.
Yeah, let's go into that a little bit more. What are some of the most common causes that you see that actually cause these accidents?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ones. You could see somebody in big seas improperly handling their boat, right, and going way too fast through maybe a no-wake zone, or again, when the waves are too big, you see passengers getting thrown out of the boat, thrown around, they get injured that way. You see people not knowing how to, handle themselves in a crowded area, and like Jeff said, they hit the hammer down and they're running into another boat, somebody's getting knocked off. If you're leaving a crowded area, you're not inspecting the area around you where there's swimmers, and you back in and your propeller hits somebody. Unfortunately, there's so many opportunities in a boat for there to be injuries because, again, there's not seat belts, there's no restraints in there, and there's no brakes. Jeff and I were talking about on the way over here, that's the thing that people don't realize in a boat. You don't get to hit the brakes. You can kill the motor, but you're going to keep going. Those are certainly ones that we see out there a lot.
Yeah, one that we see probably, I mean, there's obviously injuries that happen inside the boat, but ones that, and they're terrible when we get calls about them, are the ones where people are swimming, around the back of the boat and not realizing the propeller's off. And God, you want to talk about some gnarly pictures we've seen and gruesome injuries are people who have butted up against active propeller or motor, and I mean, it's going to cut through you like a knife, and it's only going to end terribly should that happen. So biggest safety tip I can give if you are outside of the boat is triple check to make sure the engine's been killed and the propeller's not still going when you jump off the back and think you're fine and think you're about to come up and then something else happens.
Yeah, in that same vein, wear your kill switch. Boaters out there know what I'm talking about, but if you're ever on a boat and you're driving it, they have a thing called a kill switch that you attach to yourself. So if you ever fall off, it will pull out and the motor will stop. So you see some of these runaway boats, it's because they didn't have their kill switch on them. They're very common in jet skis or in all boats, but on a jet ski, people always seem to wear them. In a boat, though, if you have the motor going, it doesn't stop if you fall off. It just keeps going. So you'll see the Coast Guard. I actually saw one on, I think it's called the Qualified Captain on Instagram, where they had to chase down a runaway boat, and it's just going, and that could obviously cause a lot of damage, not only to property, but also to people. If that is, flying around and hit somebody's boat, you're going to be responsible for that.
What steps should we take if we do get into an accident to protect ourselves on the water?
Yeah, you gotta get checked out if you're hurt. Same steps of the car wreck or a slip and fall or any other type of injury. You want to seek medical attention if you need it. You need to get as much information about the boat as you can, whether that's the registration, the name of the owner. If they have insurance, you want to make sure you get that information because liability insurance is not required on boats. That's terrifying to me as well. Same with driving, just because you have a driver's license. They do not require, South Carolina does not require you to carry liability insurance. There are certain situations where you do have to have it if you dock at certain places or if you are part of a boat club or a yacht club or things like that, but it is not required by law. So that's something to always check for after you've been injured. Make sure that boat that you were on has liability coverage, and if you can get the name of that insurance, great. but you just want to take the normal steps that you would like in a car wreck, but apply them to the water.
You can call DNR. Yeah, that's who's going to respond to most of those. There are police as well, but DNR is who monitors the waterways here in Charleston and or really all throughout the state. So.
Great reminders for all of us. Stay safe out there, you guys. Have fun, but stay safe for sure.
Always.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And guys, if you want to learn more about the Thumbs Up guys, you can go to that website right there on your screen, or you can call that number and of course give them a follow on social media.